Roman Catholic. I've got lots of these grade ones. Please get on board. This year is 1988, which is the bicentenary of Australia. Knock, knock. Colon. Colonisation. Only joking. Colonisers don't knock before they come in.
That is so fucking true.
For thousands of years, before it was discovered by Portuguese sailors in the 1500s. Then it was discovered by Dutch explorers in the 1600s. Then it was discovered by Captain Cook in 1770. I don't know how a place can be discovered if there are already people living there, but I still use Velcro shoelaces, so what would I know? Which reminds me, what is Australian history's most famous ship? Censorship! Cutting edge material for the late 80s.
That is true. The late 80s and the early 90s were
January 1788.
censorship for movies and shit was high.
Barbecue for him and his crew and the 850 criminals he brought with him. We don't celebrate it as a national holiday, but those colourful criminals with their rich tapestry of fantastic backstories will go on to be the founders of a surprisingly boring society. Which reminds me, why did the insomniac get sent to the Australian penal colony? They were resisting arrest. Insomniac. I'm only 7, Jesus. Now it is 200 years later. There are 16 million people living in Australia. Bob Hawke is our Prime Minister, and you can buy a 3-bedroom house in Sydney for $90,000. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. To celebrate the bicentennial, Brisbane is hosting Expo 88, which will no doubt be the most interesting thing to happen in Brisbane for the next 200 years. In summary, sovereignty was never ceded, but sausages are on special. Thank you. I'll see you all at the monkey bars after the show. If you are a parent of young children, chances are you have already done or said the thing that will be the direct cause of your child's worst adult moment. And the best part is they won't even realise it's your fault. But you'll know. You'll be sitting there at the back of the courtroom, just shamefully watching the cross-examination. So tell us, again, in your own words, Zane, you took a shit in a mailbox and then punched a police horse? And your mum's at the back of the courtroom going, oh my God, it's because at that time I put curdled milk into his Fruit Loops and still made him eat them. It all makes sense now. Difficult being a parent. Don't envy that job. Do not envy it at all. You know? I mean, I grew up in a very loving home. Very loving parents. Never wanted for anything. Happy Pants, Hypercolour T-shirts, Ninja Turtles, Michael Bolton, etc. And yet it's very easy to blame your parents for your own dysfunction. Particularly if they're boomers. Oh my God! What's to be done with the boomers? Too many opinions, not enough computer literacy. They're all getting radicalised by Facebook. No more screen time for the boomers! Internet's a scary place for the best of us. They're all running around in their sensible polo shirts trying to figure it out. Get them out of there! I mean, I find it challenging. I'm sure we all do, you know? You wake up first thing in the morning and someone's like, oh, hey, what's your fully formed opinion on this incredibly complex social issue that you just learned about 5 minutes ago? Quick, type it into your phone so the rest of us can tell you to fuck off and die. The confidence of people on the internet is truly astonishing. Imagine the self-belief it takes to tell someone you've never met before that you hope they will die by a chainsaw. What a consequence consequence-free life you must have led up until that point. The kid that jumped off the roof onto the trampoline and didn't break their arm. Oh my God, you're invincible. I bet one day you could be the Attorney General. I'm at a point where... Oh, get fucked, Sydney. I'm outraged at that acid. Why would she lie? Get fucked. We have to never forget that knowledge travels faster than the speed of self-righteousness. Opinions are kind of worthless if they're unbendable over time. You know? You've got to be willing to change your opinions, learn new information, adapt, fucking keep step with the knowledge. You have to be more like the algorithms that absorb all of your online activity to the point where you just have to think about buying a yoga mat and one smashes through your kitchen window. And if you're unhappy, you know, just fucking change. If you have the means to change. If you don't have the means to change, that's a terrible situation. I feel awful for you, but you probably do. I mean, if you're here, you know, can afford to come and see this shit, you could probably change. Might be the hardest thing you've ever done. Might take ages. But please, for the love of God, if you're unhappy, change. Because quite frankly, you being miserable is ruining it for the rest of us. Yelling at me in traffic because you married an asshole, just end your marriage. You're killing the fucking vibe out here. Jeez, I can't wait till we retire so we can hate each other in a camper van instead. I've always wanted to yell at you in a camper van. Travelling only broadens your horizons if you're open to having your horizons broadened. Otherwise, you're just the same dickhead in a different deck chair. It's astonishing how quickly the intensity and density of New York City melts away behind me as the train winds its way along the bank of the Hudson River. Urban grey makes way for forest green, and as the train pulls in at Cold Spring Station, I feel myself starting to wake up for the first time in months. Have you ever washed clothes at the same time as a duvet cover? And then when you take the duvet cover out of the washing machine, all the clothes are somehow inside the duvet cover. And you have to climb in the duvet cover, get away from the duvet cover, just to rescue your little ball of clothes from the bottom corner of the duvet. The last few months, I feel like I've been stuck inside a duvet cover in a washing machine. And as we pull in at Cold Spring Station, it feels like someone's reached in and yanked me out of the bottom corner of the duvet.
Must get clear. Stop any
up the
pursuit.
tight little main street of Cold Spring, and my brain is having trouble processing the fact that I was in a cultural melting pot of 8 million people an hour and a half ago, and now I appear to have stepped onto the set of an episode of Whitey McWhiteson Goes to Whitopia. But I catch myself being elitist, and I hate being elitist, so I stop and I say hello to a man who's walking his dog. And he hears my Australian accent and starts telling me that this is the town that Don McLean lived in when he wrote the song American Pie. Realising that I was right to be elitist, I wish the man a speedy death and continue up the hill. Did you hear that? Was that back there? Watch it storm. I find a hotel, eat a bowl of soup, and fall into a deep sleep. In my dream, I'm 8 years old, lying in bed in the spare room at my grandparents' house, listening to pigeons cooing on the windowsill, waiting for everybody else to go home. My grandmother leans in through the doorway. Good morning, chum. Fine morning. Penny for your thoughts? I could have done better, you know? I've had everything handled and I haven't done anything with it. And I lie there carrying on like a two-bob watch. Or you can pull up your britches and get out of your own way. Right, up your pop. I'll make you some yeast on toast. Yum! It's still dark when I wake up in Cold Spring, and it takes me a good 7 minutes to locate the switch for the bedside lamp. I'm constantly baffled by lamp manufacturers who think it's terribly clever to conceal the most important feature of a fucking lamp. Without a switch, it's just a shit sculpture. I feel like I'm always rifling around up the skirt of some lamp or another. Lost track of the number of times I've had to send my hand on a deadly spelunking mission down the back of the motel room bed to trace my way along the lamp cord, dodging tumbleweeds of pubic hair and making a minefield of discarded prophylactics. Only to find out later you're supposed to knock 3 times, turn in a circle and provide a stool sample before it turns on. Sing laps! That is the message of this show! No more laps! Oh my god, I'm the missing link. Super spreader. Run! Run! I step out into the crisp dawn, just as the sky is starting to yellow out in the east. Cool, clean air fills my lungs, and this scene would be picture perfect if I could stick Don McLean's fucking American Pie on my head. A leisurely 15-minute stroll later, and I'm at the entrance to the Hudson Highlands Nature Reserve. I rest my face against the mossy bark of an enormous oak tree. Take a moment to synchronize myself with my surroundings. I inhale, step into the forest, and plan never to return.
And here I am, at last. I will root out the engines of the crocodile.
I realize, based on the stunning silence that occurred during
Seems
that
I'm not the
blackout,
first
that
visitor today.
it's a bit stupid having flashbacks from 2018 when you clearly know what happens at the end.
I need to find out where my informant
Oh
is.
my god, what's gonna happen? He's gonna do a show in Sydney in 2 years. Surprise!
Charles Doe.
Fucking spoiler alert!
Kill this naked the crocodile.
Clearly I changed my mind about quitting comedy at some point. And that's okay.
Scrolls and ink.
It's good.
Nothing that tells me where Hotterfest is gone.
It's good to change your mind.
Wait. Feathers.
I do it all
From a
the time.
messenger pigeon.
Security for
Constantly
all.
changing my mind.
An increased military
Changing my
presence
opinions.
throughout the biome
Gotta do
has
it.
made life safer.
I've changed those opinions. Oh, Randy, fucking changey pants over there. Always changing his fucking mind, isn't he?
A lot of damage. But no blood or signs of a fight. Maybe he fled before this happened. These scrolls tell me nothing useful. I should check upstairs.
Just gotta try new things. See what happens.
Who would have done such a thing? What were you protecting, boy?
I've never done this at this point in the show before.
Dog, stop barking!
Gotta try new things. Gotta change your opinions. Well, give us an example, Randy. Who said that? All right, I'll give
A
you
letter left
fucking
behind by
example,
my
Sydney.
informant. It looks like he fled, but
Drugs.
the soldiers caught his servant.
Drugs.
The servant is still alive.
I don't do
He'll know where
drugs.
Hotterfest is.
My privileged opinion
They'll
of
be
drug
holding him at
use
the
is
nearby
that
military camp.
productivity is more important than escapism. And also, I'm wired in such a way that if I even so much look at a drug, I will be doing speed off a strip club toilet seat within 2 to 3 hours. So my opinion is, I should not do drugs. But then I went to Canada. Anytime you walk down the street in any Canadian city, you're constantly getting crop dusted with clouds of delicious smelling marijuana smoke because weed is legal there. So people walk around punching blunts like they're at a fucking folk festival. I was in Quebec City for 2 days and I started following pot smokers down the street like a cartoon character floating towards a pie on a windowsill. So I changed my opinion and decided I should do drugs. Has anybody here actually been to Quebec City? Anyone? It's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it? Bit confusing. French-speaking Canadians ruled by the Queen of England. Pick a fucking lane, Quebec. But I was doing shows there and I was like, I'm not going to seek drugs out, but if somebody offers me drugs, I'll definitely take them. And sure enough, after a show one night, I was approached by some youths. Some youths approached me, and they offered me a brownie. They're very fond of edible drugs in that part of the world. The pot brownie, and the hash cookie, and the weed cake, and the wacky tobacco toasted sangy. And these youths offered me a brownie the size of a fucking John Grisham novel. So I said, thank you. We took it back to my hotel room, put on some comfortable trousers, put a bit of King Gizzard and Wizard on Spotify. And I haven't done drugs for about 9 years at this point, so I didn't want to go too hard. So I just broke off a tiny corner of this massive brownie and just had a little... Just a little schnomination, tiny little... Because I didn't want to go too hard. But then, after like 10 minutes, nothing happened. So I ate the whole thing. Really fast. Like there were cops at the door. I was like, and then I could...
Stop barking!
For a pot brownie.
Fucking hell, dog, shut up!
How long it normally takes for a pot brownie to kick in? Does anybody know? Yeah, about an hour. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die in this hotel room.
Oh my fucking god!
Cancelled my subscriptions to Yoga Glow and Chatterbait. Started putting a PowerPoint presentation together for my own funeral service. And then, after like 75 minutes, I realised it was just a fucking brownie. Like just a regular old drug-free chocolate brownie, lovingly prepared by the...
Balloon attack on site here.
fucking innocently distributed amongst the tourists. So now, my opinion is...
Hold on, idiots!
Me again. Hello. Am I your favourite part of the show so far? I'm very cute, aren't I? I'm also massively racist. Yeah, I mean, you know, babies, without exception, prefer faces of their own race. It's just how we come out. It's all like that. And if you're sitting there going, my baby's not racist, I'm talking specifically to you and your goddamn racist baby.
You will pay, Cons.
I suppose up until this point in my life, I was given an alternative to that perspective. You know, everybody from the church to, hey, it's Saturday, pretty much reinforces the idea that different means worse. Which is probably why I'm also quite homophobic, I think. That one's a real bummer, because I'm actually attracted to some of the boys in my class. I've even fooled around with a couple of them. So it's pretty clear that sort of thing is frowned upon. And I'm also attracted to a couple of the girls, so I think I'm just going to put all of my eggs in that basket for now. Save myself from the inevitable ridicule, you know. I'm still just a little sponge, you know, sponge. Just taking everything in, spongety, sponge. Forming my little opinions. Oh, spongety. Yeah, people say all sorts of things around me. Well, I don't expect to be protected from the other. Sometimes it is good to get an explanation to go along with what I'm witnessing. Words have an impact. And a single word can have a vastly different impact depending on which side of the fence it lands. The word freedom is often used to imprison. The word settlement might mean birthright to an Israeli and unlawful military occupation for the Palestinian. The word gluten might mean limited menu choices for a handful of people and hilarity for the rest of us. I suppose I'll either settle for these inherited belief systems when I'm older, or actually do a bit of compassionate investigation and consider the alternatives. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's a lot to think about.
Hey, what? What? You out of water?
Yeah,
Easy,
I don't know.
What?
Was that a racist baby? The timing of that was exquisite. It's hard being little, isn't it, baby? You know it's tricky, it's hard, there's a lot of choices to make and a lot of pressure, you know? Spongety sponge, you know? I mean, I want to be successful when I grow up. I want to make my parents proud, you know? I want to be happy. I want to be a good person. I want like a good job. I want a house, a wife, kids. These are things that I'm told make a successful grown-up. I don't want to be one of those adults that has ants in their car. I wandered directionless through the trees for a few hours, thinking about what it means to belong to a place. This forest is foreign to me, but I feel at home here somehow. I actually feel more at home when I'm not at home, which either proves that home is a state of mind, or maybe that I don't really feel like myself where I come from. I don't know if that's true.
Hey now.
I mean, I can come to the I don't know what my relationship to country is, you know. I mean, occasionally I give people directions using compass points, if that counts. I hate it when people in the country do that.
Right now, matey, what you want to do, you just want to head east for about 20 clicks, and then take a south to southwesterly bearing. All right, Galileo.
I will get you
Just
out of
give me
here.
some landmarks and some street names. I'm not taking the King's Road into battle. I'm trying to get to Best and Less, you dickhead. You know, I think Australia's an incredible country, but the overall feel of the place often elicits the same response in me as that 7-year-old boy slow clapping his way into a detention. You know, I just want to shake it up a bit.
Thank you.
We paint ourselves as lovable larrikins, but we're
No,
extremely
but I must
fucking
find him.
uptight.
I need his help to find the crocodile. Will you help me?
Reject
Potterface took
a
a
lot
traded
of the
ship to Lake
interesting
Moeris.
parts of this
It has a
place.
large
The
statue on
edge,
board and is
the
marked by a
friction,
symbol.
the variety,
The crocodile has
you know,
hired mercenaries
the
to
truths that we're constantly
Then I must
protecting
hurry.
ourselves from. That lucky
Get
country
somewhere safe.
bullshit that's built on the
Be well.
destruction of others. I mean, look at this reputation. It's pretty gross.
Oh, now you can stand up, you shithead.
And that's not a political statement, that's just like human observation. Yucky poos! You know what I mean? Look, if you don't need to consider any life experience other than what's happening on your own little quarter-acre block, or if you can see a doctor whenever you need to see a doctor, and no part of your brain is reserved for processing if you're in danger, or even where you actually fit in a culturally complex system, I don't necessarily begrudge you any of that, but I don't want to hear your opinion on immigration policy. Like, you don't get a seat at the table if you're ambivalent about babies in detention, but have time to openly weep while watching the MasterChef finale. I stopped to relieve myself against a small stone wall in the undergrowth and discovered that I'm actually standing on the edge of a swimming pool. It's the ruins of a swimming pool. It's full of leaves and fallen branches and shit, but it's unmistakable in its aquatic origins. I look around, and slowly it dawns on me that I am standing in the middle of the abandoned ruins of the Cornish estate. Edward Joel Cornish was born in Iowa in 1862. He was practicing law by the age of 21, climbed his way up to assistant district attorney, and became the personal lawyer and friend of a man by the name of Levi Carter of the Carter Lead Company. Carter's Lead Works was like the largest manufacturer of paint in the United States. We're talking a good 60 years before people recognized that lead poisoning from paint and airborne particles from leaded petrol causes learning difficulties, aggressive behavior, and a tendency to believe whatever you read on the Facebook. When Levi Carter died in 1903, Edward Cornish became the president of the company and married Levi's widow, Selena. As they say in the lead business, you can't cut a dead man's lunch. Edward I'm keeping that fucking line, I don't care what you think. Edward sold the company to National Lead. He bought a giant chunk of stocks, and he ended up serving as president of National Lead for like 17 years. And in that time, he and Selena left the city, and they purchased this grand estate in the Hudson Hills. They bought it from a Chicago diamond merchant named Sigmund Stern. And I fucking wish I made that detail up, because Sigmund Stern, the diamond merchant, sounds like a character from a Scooby-Doo episode. I'm Sigmund Stern, and somebody's been stealing all of my diamonds. That bit was just for the racist baby. Edward and Selena were madly in love. They threw lavish parties in their expansive mansion, and they rolled through the roaring 20s in lead-funded style.
Now they send the son of
Then
Egypt
one day in
against me.
1938, at the impressive age of
It's
76,
been a long time since I
Edward
spilled
Cornish
so much
dropped
blood.
dead at his desk.
I was
from
sent
a
by
heart attack.
Polydorus.
Over the following 2 weeks, Selena
We share a
took
common
care of the
interest.
arrangements. She made sure Edward had a proper send-off, and then she died herself. The mansion
are
and the
you?
grounds were passed
And
on
what
to
do you
Edward's
want,
nephew,
I'm Bayaka Siwa.
who spent the next
and I seek
20 years
information on the
largely
crocodile.
ignoring his aunt and uncle's
The
private
phantom that has brought fire
until
to its
accidentally
knees.
setting fire
What
to
could
the
you want
mansion
with
in
him?
1958 and burning it
He belongs to a group that is destroying Egypt. I intend to hunt every last one of them down.
60 years
Bayek
later
of
to the
Siwa.
day.
You don't know what you are up
Standing on the ruins
against.
of Edward and
The
Selena
crocodile has transformed not only the
Greenwood.
land, but the
The
people.
charred remains
Those who
of
do
a
not cower in
shadow
fear
All
are made
that
to
was
work
once
for him.
important to
And
these
you have no
people
idea who the
was
crocodile is.
reclaimed by the
I
first
stole a ledger from a Greek magistrate I suspect of corruption. It should reveal the identity of this crocodile. And if we get it to Apollodorus, we may be able to bring down the whole organization.
Where's the ledger now?
I gave it to my wife Henny to hide. As long as the Ptolemies think it's with me, my family is safe. That is why I have to stay on the move. Here. This will tell Hennet you are a friend to be trusted. It is for my daughter, Shadia. Once you have the ledger, find me at the docks south of Uhem area.
In New York, and it is the worst thing that's happening to me
Bye.
right now.
Take a look around my ship
taking
before
it
you
any
go.
more personally.
I keep records of local problems which may have the crocodile
That is
at their
privilege.
root.
Privilege is not
They
an
may
abundance of
exist
opportunity, it's
as a
an
measure.
absence of obstacles, right? And the best I can hope for, if I use
Entire
that
villages
privilege
of
for
people
all
have
it's
disappeared
worth,
into
is that
thin
one
ice.
day my legacy will
There are rumors of
lay
the
in
caravanserai
ruins in
that
a
demons
forest
have
somewhere,
invaded.
and some kid will stumble upon it
Demons?
while pissing on the ashes.
I have never seen one.
And standing
should
there,
check this
I
out.
burst into hysterical laughter, and I turn around and I start running.
Who is this shrine
crushing my way
dedicated to?
through the forest, back
I am
towards the
praying
train
for the
station,
people
plotting
killed
my
by fire
revenge
in
on the
Dionysia.
theatre-going crowds
Someone is
of
burning
New
down
York
their
City.
farm. You, Magi, could help to stop it.
I will try to help.
The rest of the
What are you
season
doing?
was just as shit.
Mysterious
It
plague
didn't
has
get
struck
any
the
better
poor
than
in
fucking
Nuhemeria.
hated me. But
Their bodies
my
are being
attitude
burned,
slowly
cursing
improved,
their souls for
right?
eternity.
When I came back to Australia,
They will
and I
never
made
reach the
myself a
field
promise
of
that if I
reeds.
ever got an
I
opportunity
am
like
trying
that
to find
again,
a
I
cure
would
for
get out
them.
of my own
There
way.
is always a
And I
cure.
didn't have to wait long,
I just
because
need the right
2019 was
combination.
arguably
Burning
the
the
best
dead.
year of my career.
What
It was the
madness
most
is this?
fun, I was the most present, I had a fucking great time. And it started with a magical telephone call. Stand by for a chilling reenactment. Bring, bring. Bringity fuckity bringity bring. Hello? Hey Randy, it's Hollywood. Oh my god, Hollywood's on the phone. Hi Hollywood. Hey Randy, we love what you do. You are funny, and believe us, we know funny. But tell me, Randy, why have you never done a reality television program? Oh, come on, Randy. Reality television's not the shame factory it once was. And what is reality if not a commodity? And what is entertainment if not a competition? Listen to me, Hollywood. I am not a shill to be bought and sold like a common Pop-Tart. I say good day to you, Hollywood.
I will return it
We will
later.
pay your wage, cover your airfare, and guarantee you a one-year working visa. Shut up and kiss me, Hollywood. No, 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 no. That's exactly how it happened. That, my friends, is how I signed on to be a contestant on NBC's feel-good hit of the summer, Bring the Funny, a reality television program in which comedians were competing for $250,000 US. Spoiler alert! I did not win. I did have a really nice time. I met some wonderful people, I told a few jokes, and I made it out of there with my anal virginity largely intact. The only time it got a little bit intense was while we were filming the reality portion. Now, they call the interviews with contestants on these reality shows reality. That's what they call the reality show, right? All the reality shows have them. You know what I'm talking about? Like, this souffle is never going to rise. And the kid's proud. Kelly, it's that just luck. All that, right? They shoot it, they edit it, and they turn the contestants into characters. So you at home can invest in the character and give a shit whether or not they win or lose. Now, everybody on the show gets assigned a story producer. The story
Afraid I must borrow
producer's
this.
job is to make the contestant look interesting, like they've got a compelling backstory. And my story producer fucking hated me. Because you've seen my backstory, it's not good television, you know, there's no drama. And she snapped. 3 weeks in, she just snapped. After me giving her smart-ass responses to every delving question, she just went, Randy, where is the heart? Where is the drama? Where is the hook? And I said, there isn't any. I tell jokes for a living and I sleep like a fucking baby. She snapped in front of the entire crew and grabbed me by the arm and dragged me off set, and everybody went, ooh. She pulled me out onto the back lot. We were shooting at Universal Studios in Burbank, in California, and she shoved me into a golf buggy. They all drive around in these little golf carts. She got in and started driving, and I was like, where are we going? And she said, shut the fuck up! And oh, I'm being fired. And this icy feeling just settled in my stomach. And I started sweating and I started shaking and I was like, oh fuck. I blew it. I just smart-assed my way out of another opportunity. I got here, this is it, they're going to kick me off the lot. I'm never going to work in America again. My name's going to be dragged through the mud. Oh my god, look, there's the Jaws ride. We went through 3 security checkpoints and then one massive security checkpoint, and we drove out into this giant courtyard, surrounded on all 4 sides with huge concrete walls, with murals of movie stars painted on all the walls. Ingrid Bergman, Marceline Day, Audrey Hepburn, and Val Kilmer, for some reason. In the middle of the courtyard, there was an enormous swimming pool, a bar with a bartender. And she looked at me and said, "Get the fuck out." So I got out and she just drove off. So I started walking towards this swimming pool, where in the middle of the pool there was a huge, fat, bald man with sunglasses floating on an inflatable pink flamingo. And as I got to the edge of the pool, he lowered his sunglasses and said, "I hear you're having trouble finding a backstory, young man." And I said, "Yes, sir, I don't really have any drama to draw from." And he said, "Well, you are contractually obligated to find some drama, young man, so hop to it." He nodded to the bartender. The bartender pressed a button on the bar, and suddenly 2 doors opened, one at either end of the courtyard. And out of one of them burst Jason Statham, wielding an axe, naked, covered in baby oil.
Why are you burning the dead? Don't you fear the gods? Their souls will be forever cursed.
I'm sorry to do it, but I have no choice in this. The gods themselves have afflicted us with a pestilence. The dead must be burned to save the living.
What pestilence? Is there a plague?
Truly, I don't know. Elders have begun falling sick. Children have died clutching their bellies in agony as their parents watch on, lifeless in their beds.
For what felt
This
like
would
an
be true,
eternity through
even for the
spines
angriest of
and
gods.
mud and rats
No one
and
cares
shit,
about
until
us.
finally I
Any help
emerged
would be
from
appreciated.
underneath the Hollywood
In the
sign,
fire, the
blinking
coal
in the
outward
blazing
spit.
Californian sun. And I started to panic. I was like, "My God, I need a backstory. I don't have a backstory. My parents are still alive. I was never molested. I don't support the troops. What am I going to do?" And then I noticed that there was like a
children, your
5G
hunger is
mobile
known.
telephone tower.
Go
And
to
I read
Sobek
somewhere
for your
that they were
nourishment.
There are no signs of a plague on the body.
maybe that will give me
They usually
radiation
keep it in
poisoning.
Arm's kitchen
That's
in
a
the
good
market.
angle. So I
But
started
soldiers
rubbing
are
myself
filthy.
against this
Greek
tower.
merchants said they were
You
bad.
would just be eaten.
Rubbing myself against the tower.
Must have the food
I
stored
woke up
somewhere.
a homeless man who was sleeping at the
should
foot
have a
of the
look
tower,
around.
and I was like, he's bound to have a communicable disease, right? So I started sucking his dick, right? So while I was bobbing away, on this homeless man's
These arms
rancid
contain strong
cock,
seasonings.
he started to tell me a story. He said,
Food is
"You know,
rancid. Smells like shit. It's completely
I
unfit
was
for
on
eating.
season 2 of
This
America's
gruel
Got
is not fit for
Talent.
rats, let alone people.
What they don't tell you when you
The
leave
strong
is that
spices
you're
are not
too
for
famous
taste.
to go back to
They are
your
disguisingly
job.
rot.
You're not famous enough to be
I need to
actually
talk with
famous,
whoever made
so
it.
no one will hire you.
Sobek has
Faster.
provided a way.
You think you're
Though
gonna
the
be
food is
person on
humble,
reality television
it
that
gives
everybody
life.
loves, but that's not why
Tell
we
me about
watch.
the food you
We
eat.
watch for the
Where does it come
failures.
from?
We look for the
The merchant
flaws.
makes it for the poor here.
Deciding winners
It's
based
not
on
much,
a public
but
voting
at least
system is
it's
giving these
something.
morons the
Or
illusion of
thank you.
power. They
You're
don't know how
welcome
to
to try
handle
some.
that power, so
Why
they
we
take to
got
Twitter
wrong?
and they say awful
I do not
things,
know how
and they
to
ruin the
stomach
hopes
it.
and dreams of people more
I
talented
need to
than
talk
they
to the
will ever
merchant.
be.
Where can I find him?
His house is to the south of the town market. I can take you.
And I
Visit
said,
this merchant of yours. I will follow you.
May Sobek reward you for helping.
"You're right, old man.
I've
I
passed
need to
many
change my
prosperous
image to
farms.
suit the unrealistic
People here seem to
expectations
be
of
doing
some
well.
imaginary audience.
Why are there so many
I
poor?
can make it in Hollywood
yes.
on my
Those
own
are Greek
terms.
farms.
So I
The
turned
Greeks pay
around
lower taxes,
and I
so they
ran all
prosper.
the way back to
Meanwhile, the
the studio.
Egyptian
And I
farmers
got
are
there
slowly
just
forced
as I
from
called
their
my
lands.
name to go out on
What
stage.
happens to the land
And I
when the
went out
farmers
there
leave?
And I smashed it.
Once the owners
3.5
die, by
minutes
law the
of
land is free.
bulletproof comedy
If it's
gold.
good land,
And
the Greeks take
crowd
it.
went
If
wild.
not, the desert
And then
takes it.
I realized
Either way,
I was still in
Egyptians
my
are left to
hotel room,
starve.
and there was
Many end up
definitely
in the
weed
slums.
in that brownie.
He was high the whole fucking time.
That's what this is. Start edging towards the exit if you're busting for a piss. Closing song. Hold your applause. My contract is in violation of child labor laws. I think I've learned a valuable life lifeless and... Really? Yep. When you've got
This is the home of the merchant who provides
your fucking blessings.
Even the cats here look
And
better
when
fed
you've
than
got it
before.
bad, you can just blame
The
your
owner is
childhood
obviously the substance.
life. Blame
Not
your
all
parents,
Egyptians
blame religion, blame the fact
Some are just
that
more
you're
equal than others.
misunderstood in a closed
This is awful.
No wonder people are falling sick.
Who would do this?
This time we met this poisonous merchant.
Give him a taste of his own cooking.
How may I help? This is my home. Are you lost?
You can explain to me why you've been poisoning the poor. My guess is so you can take their land. It is easier if they are dead.
You're referring to the trouble in the slums. Whatever you've heard, I assure you, you misunderstand. I do what I can to help.
I've seen you with kitchen merchants. I know what you are doing. And I will see that you are brought to justice.
Oh, I see. Well, that changes things. Now, you're trespassing, and I have the right to protect myself. Men!
What a pussy.
If you were reasonable, I wouldn't have to do this. We could have worked this out. I'm not tired of this. Hold him up.
I have never seen him again. And that, my friends, is why I no longer shop on Gumtree. Thank you very much. You know my favourite bit of that story? I just made it up. Yeah, it's not true. There is no Morgan.
We can talk about this. I'm wealthy.
It's
I can
very
pay you.
unsatisfying,
Name
isn't
your
it?
price. You're being
That's what's
unreasonable.
in my head.
Filthy Medjai scum. You have no authority here.
This merchant of death was murdering the poor with a ladder.
Why is it we can feel so
His love of
robbed
money
when someone
was
tells
the
us a
real
story we just heard isn't true,
Value
and yet
won't miss
so
it.
satisfied at the end of a fictional novel?
There will be no more bargaining.
You know the other great thing about that story? First draft. Fuck you, Hemingway! Can't end on that, can I? Those lies? We did not come here to be hoodwinked, sir.
This area is off limits.
The truth, eh? The truth is, I'm not an exceptional person, you know? Nothing interesting really ever happens to me. I'm massively flawed, and I think I'm quite forgettable, if I'm being 100% honest. And this isn't a shit bit at the end of the show where I get on the cross, I'm like, love me on the way out the door. It's not that. It's just that I don't think, like, on a scale of 1 to memorable, I'm not that memorable. Not on, like, the Morgan sort of scale. Not on the Ernest Hemingway scale, certainly, you know. But if I tell a great story, maybe people will remember that instead. Remember the card trick and just pretend that they don't know how it's done, you know?
Closing
But
song.
must we leave a legacy?
That's what it is.
Must we make an impact? Do we have to leave a footprint? Is it okay to just settle? Seek safety? Nest, you know? Or must we constantly shake our lives up? Or suffer the indiscriminate cruelty of having it shaken against our will? Must we try to carve a path through the tall grass, feeling as though no one has ever felt how we feel? Terrified at what may be lurking low in the grass on either side of us, but just pressing ever onwards with that Paleolithic instinct deep within our chromosomes that the only way is forward, that you have to keep going, that eventually you'll stumble upon the edge of the field, hitch a ride from a passing car, and meet up with the rest of the gang for tea and sandwiches at the old town hall. Do we feel like the path that we are carving through the grass is all our own? Only to finally float
above the field with the sweet relief of expiration and realise that the field is insignificantly minuscule in size and that there's only one path through the grass. The exact same one that every human has trod before us and will ever after. Just stumbling blindly along a tiny hyphen between the words birth and death. And when reduced to that level of crisp simplicity, fear cannot exist. So,
I see you bear the markings of old sea.
Walking to Sky, Chapter 1. Right in the middle of the US tour, about to go to Europe, and then I'll... To be here. The last time I was in Philadelphia was February 2020. Did I miss anything? My appearance tonight is proudly brought to you by Pfizer. I have had not one, not two, but 3 shots of the sweet, sweet Pfizer juice.
Not a very good one.
I'm ready to mingle, Philly. Spit in my fucking mouth. I'm ready for a 4th one. I want the 4th one. I don't care what's in it. I'll drink it. Put it in me. I once snorted a line of speed off the seat of a porta potty. Whatever's going to kill me, I already did it. It's in here right now. Slowly multiplying. Just a little shadow on an MRI. Which, incidentally, is my new single. It's just a little shadow on an MRI. It's gonna kill me in my sleep.
These are the treasures of yours.
You can get that on my SoundCloud. Now, look, there's still a bit of vaccine hesitancy out there, and on some level, I understand the vaccine hesitant. I think it's good to be suspicious of potential misinformation. But there is also some misinformation amongst the vaccine hesitant, you may be surprised to learn.
I've seen the real treasures.
I was reading in the news about a hairdresser who was banning anyone who had been vaccinated from entering her hair salon because she said anyone who had had the vaccine had the ability to drastically negatively impact the menstrual cycle of any women they even happened to be in the same room as. So, apparently I can do that now. What a shit superpower! By the power. So, apparently I can do that now. Hairdresser who was banning anyone who had been vaccinated from entering her hair salon because she said anyone who had had the vaccine had the ability to drastically negatively impact the menstrual cycle of any women they even happened to be in the same room as. So, apparently I can do that now. What a shit superpower! By the power of my vaccination, slightly heavier flow.
That's something I saw. Would you like?
Right in the middle of a Pilates class. Iron deficiency, man. I understand if you get the vaccine, it messes with your cycle. I had a lot of friends who had weird periods for a couple of months after getting the vax. But just by mere proximity to those who have been vaccinated, that is some powerful stuff. That's like you shitting your pants because I had Wendy's 3 days ago. This is my Inhale Exile tour. I'm on what I'm calling a self-imposed exile from Australia. Oh my God, that's his accent. I'm in self-imposed exile. I'm happy with that. I'm like a modern-day Marlene Dietrich. Although while she was a Hollywood starlet who refused to go back to her home country of Germany during World War II, I'm a B-grade comedian who's not going back to Australia until they take serious action on climate change, acknowledge the systemic racism, and publicly distance themselves from Outback Steakhouse and Foster's. We don't eat that shit! We don't drink that shit! But when you're in self-imposed exile, you got to give back. You know what I mean? You got to give back to your homeland. And just as Marlena donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to help Jewish people escape from Germany, this year I will be exclusively following Australian-based sex workers on OnlyFans. So we're basically the same person.
Yes, I can
We're basically the same person.
This one's really real.
You people are amazing. Well, oh, hello there. I've just noticed that you can see what's happening down here. You're already getting the special DVD featurette behind the scenes. Haven't even put out the special, you're already seeing the action. Stop looking down there. What's your name? Jess. And who are you here with, Jess? Jess and Kevin. Woo! What did you do today, Jess? What did you do today, Jess? Jess! Jess! What did you do today, Jess? Jess! You worked. What do you do in the daytimes, Jess? You're a project manager, just any fucking project. I'll manage it. I don't care who it's for, bring me a project and I will manage it. Is Kevin a project you've been managing? No? Kevin's shaking his head. You haven't been managed, Kevin? You look very neat and tidy. You've got a button-up shirt. Looks pretty fucking managed to me. What do you do in the daytimes, Kevin? You're a biologist. Oh my God, you don't need a project manager. You're out there looking at things, digging up tadpoles and eating them and shit. Is that what you do? I assume that's what happens. What's your name? What is it? Ulissa. Elissa. E-L-L-I-S-A? No. Okay, let's play this game for 25 minutes. E-L-I-S-A. E-L-Y-S-A.
Fuck.
Think Melissa dropped the M. E-double-L-I-double-S-I-A-M-I-double Mississippi. What did you do today, Melissa? You got high and you said, yes! Yes! Alyssa's a drug addict! Let's go! Woo! Let's glorify drug use! Come on! What kind of drugs did you take? Oh, yes!
Apparently I'm a lot of fun on edibles.
Fuck.
Something to do.
Well, shit.
With the color and movement. Hi, Alicia.
So I took the wrong bag home from the airport. When I got here, I got the bag off the baggage carousel and I took it home. Didn't look at the bag tag. Looked exactly like my bag. Threw it in the corner, had a nice cup of tea, watched an episode of The X-Files. And then I went to open it to get my phone charger out. Not my stuff! It was weird. I mean, at first it was funny, like I was trying on all the clothes, using the toothbrush. Gave myself a back massage with the vibrator. But then suddenly it occurred to me, hang on a second. If I have this person's stuff, then this person must have my stuff! Quickly, back to the airport! Some son of a bitch is touching my shit! Hurry, before they find the hard drives! Yes, that was an airport story. Because if you didn't know this, the American Association of Touring Comedians has an industry standard that you have to adhere to when you do shows here as an artist. It's union regulated. There's nothing I can do about it. You have to do at least 2 to 3 airport, airline, or airplane stories. You need at least 4 to 5 cum references. And a hot take on the difference between men and women. So I'll just tell another airport story and then I'll segue seamlessly into my hilarious impression of my wife getting ready to go out to dinner. It's all moisturizer and shoe buckles. She's such a dumb bitch. So I was at the airport. I spent a couple of weeks in California and I had to fly. Woo! Woo! I might have been in the shit bit. You don't know. I just say that California. Woo! Which bit? I was in Eureka. Which is nice. It is nice there. But I spent a couple of weeks up there and I had to fly from Eureka in Humboldt County to Denver, Colorado. And that's all you have to do in this country is just name a place and someone will just woo! 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 New York! Chicago! Yeah, you're very... USA, USA. There's lots of bits. We all live in one of them. We visited some. We liked them when we were there. You're very unified as a country, aren't you? Any fucking way.
I had to fly from Eureka Airport in Humboldt County to Denver, Colorado, and I arrived at the airport. And I don't know if you've been to that airport, but it's more of a log cabin than an airport. In place of a departures board, there's like the head of a moose mounted on the wall. And as I walked in, a police officer immediately approached me and said,
"We need to clean this place up and get it running
I didn't have my mask on. This is back when we were still wearing masks. And by the way, I am pro-mask. I'm just anti-ears.
I am here to help. And I have your daughter's
So I put my backpack down and I reached into the front pocket of my backpack to retrieve my mask, and I grabbed a hold of something that was not a mask. One of the side effects of being a touring comedian travelling through California is that total strangers give you free drugs. Which is how I found myself crouched on the floor of an airport next to an officer of the law, holding a handful of hallucinogenic mushrooms. And for some reason, I looked up at the cop and said, "Hi."
Soldiers with torches patrol every night, and this Arms kitchen was practically
and he
razed
said,
to the ground.
"Do you have a mask?"
They have left
And I
Shaggy
said,
and me alone with peace. Butterflies has made sure.
"I'm just looking for my
Where
mask."
did you let her know?
And I reached around in the pocket and I found the mask, but it was just loose in the pocket with the mushrooms. And I realized if I pulled the mask out, the shrooms would go flying across the terminal. So I
I've been
said,
summoned to the lighthouse for another of their routine
"I can't seem to locate my mask, officer." And he reached for his gun and I said, "Please don't kill me!"
It happens every
And then he pulled a disposable mask out of his pocket and said, "I got a spare. You have a great flight."
Shaggy, show by.
Thank you, officer.
You can see my house from
Now,
that
I'm not sure what kind of training Humboldt County police officers do to recognize suspicious activity.
Lead on, little one. I will
But
follow.
on that day, this guy must have been out racially profiling teenagers or something, because he was oblivious. Now, I'm getting the sense from a lot of you, mostly Alyssa, that... I'm getting the sense that you're all going, "Randy, what's the big deal? Mushrooms are decriminalized in California." I didn't know that. So I'm like, I can't check these mushrooms in. The cop's standing at the door looking at me. There's no trash cans in the terminal. I was like, what am I going to do with these mushrooms? And then it came to me. I crouched down next to the wall, right? And I put my bag down and I pretended to tie my shoelaces. And then I just ate them.
And soldiers.
All of them.
Thank you, Shaggy. You should go back to your mother now.
That
It might get
flight
dangerous.
from California to Colorado was the longest 3 weeks of my life. I spent the rest of the day lying on the floor of an airport hotel in Denver just going, "Whee! Whee!" Oh, gosh. When are you gonna grow up,
I should not be seen in this area.
Unless you deprogram yourself at some point. Every choice you make as an adult is based on an idea you had as a child. Which is terrifying, because children are fucking idiots. Running around, bumping into the furniture, eating dirt. You dedicate your life to just trying to keep them alive. Then they get a little bit of therapy in their 30s, and suddenly it's your fault they punched a police horse and took a shit in a mailbox.
Loyalty to her will get them killed.
And I have nothing against therapy. I think everybody should do therapy. I think it's a great thing. I've done it. Most of my friends have done therapy. A lot of people my age have done therapy. My father's generation, fuck no. You wouldn't see a shrink unless you had a nervous breakdown, which these days I believe the kids refer to as being honest with yourself and those around you. Fucking snowflakes. But again, not to shit on my father's generation. You know, my father's generation, salt of the earth. Hard-working, barbecue tong-wielding, negative gearing, pillars of repression. The kind of men who can't help but point out the make and model of every single car that drives past. Oh, it's a GMT, XE, CRV, and yet
really struggle with the whole LGBTQIA+ concept. Don't get me started on those freaks. They're taking up the entire alphabet. Oh, look at that SUV. How are you going, Alyssa? You still having a nice time? You having a great time? Are you about ready to have the other half, or are you... Did you go holesies? You had the whole thing. Was it what did it come in? Was it a gummy? Was it a brownie? It's yummy. Did you bring enough for everybody? They were checking bags. Oh, they didn't check bags. But this won't make it to the special, will it? Helium aren't going to put a bid on. Watch Randy's Helium special where he tells everybody how to smug druggles into the club.
Something
And
blocking
also,
you to the other side.
I'm not going to put it in the
There must
special
be
because I
another
just
way.
said smug druggles. That's the best. Smug druggle sounds like an informant from an 80s British cop film. You must go down and see Smug Druggles. He'll tell you what train to catch. And by the morning we'll have this...
Servants tried to barricade the doors. They weren't quick enough.
Oh, I feel like I've had you. No, don't clap that. Don't clap the moment. Billy's like, yes, we were there when Randy had a stroke on stage.
She has the ledger. And I sent her back to her mother.
That
I have
really
to find
tickled
Kennedy
me.
before the soldiers get to her. Oh, Shadia.
So I was at the
What have
airport.
you done, little one? You cannot play games
And I
with
was
the
standing
crocodile.
behind this man who was travelling alone with his 2 children, which must be an absolute nightmare, right? His kids were hating it, but he was hating it way more. And I was standing behind him, just waiting for him to snap. And his kid's like, Daddy, I'm tired! Shut the fuck up. Daddy, I feel sick! You were an accident. Daddy, I think I'm gonna... And this kid just...
The soldiers just came and took him to the lighthouse. Young Shadia too. I not argued with them, but they would not
Right
listen.
onto the airport floor,
Something is
right
wrong,
between me and the dad. And I was like, haha, what's he gonna do here?
Hurry!
And he turned around and looked at me, looked down at the vomit, looked back up at me, and then, without breaking eye contact, slowly reached behind him, put his hand on his suitcase, and just rolled it over the vomit. And then looked at me like, you want to make something of that, buddy? No, sir, I salute you. You kind of went with me on that. I don't know if that'll make the special. Might not, might end up on the cutting room floor. There's a few things I can't really do and say, you know, on this, but because we're filming, you've got to kind of be a little bit conscious of where it's going to end up, you know. Like, I'm not going to say cunt, for example. Which is a real shame, because it's a term of endearment where I come from. And I think it's time to destigmatize that word, my friends, Philadelphia. Yes. Because the power of a word stems from its history, and I think that particular word is misunderstood as a word. As an archaic descriptor for female genitalia. The old C-bomb, it's been in languages forever, written language at least, that we've had documented. Egyptian, European, Norse, Indian. And at its origins, it's either a benign identifier or a term imbued with actual respect. The Hindu nature goddess Kunti, for example. The word vagina is arguably more oppressive. The Latin origin of vagina is sword sheath. Yeah, some Roman anatomist was like, that, gentlemen, is where we shall holster our dicks. That is its sole purpose. Cunt is so much more inclusive. It's the whole clito-urethro-vaginal complex. Internal, external, labia, perineum, clitoris, vagina. The whole magnificent vulvic cornucopia. And I just think it's a better word. Vagina sounds kind of redneck. Check out my vagina! Got me a vagina! Wait a minute. As opposed to, this is my cunt. Oh! Oh, it's so crisp and so powerful. I think it's misunderstood as a word. It's like a DJ at a wedding. It has a lot of power, but nobody gives a fuck about its backstory. Hello there, what's your name? Daz? Daz, how are you, Daz? I'm really good, thanks, Daz. What did you do to Daz? You played some video games. Any gamers in the house? I'm pretty much on this tour. I've pretty much managed to figure out what my crowd is. I didn't know. It's the first time I've really toured like this in the States. I've had some great shows. Didn't know what my crowd is like. And I could just stand there at the door as people walk in going, gamer, 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 anime fan, gamer, gamer. Which I'm super into. It's not a bad thing. Dad, what game were you playing, Dad? Apex Legends. All right, you passed the test. What else did you do today? You've got a bird! Dad has a bird, everybody! Oh! What kind of bird is it? I'm just digging my way to crowd work hell. Sorry, everybody. Nothing to do with you. It's just like, why am I doing crowd work at this point in the show? We had a great interaction with the stoner up the front. These people are clearly in some sort of weird, fucked up relationship. There was no need for me to tell you. You sound lovely. You've got a bird who's a lovebird. You're playing games. I've got no time for crowd work. There's no point. I don't know why I'm talking to you, but you seem really nice. Again. How do we get out of this? Who are you here with? I don't know where my eyes are looking either.
Fuck you.
This has been amazing. I've had such a nice time. I've had a really great time on this tour. I've done some really cool stuff in the States. when I first got here, I have a friend who lives just outside of Dallas, and she has an RV, like a motorhome. And she asked me if I would like to borrow her RV for a couple of weeks to explore this beautiful country, and I said, you bet your bloody boots I would, baby. Because I love a house on wheels. I love it. Go wherever you want. Stay wherever you want. Dinner under the stars.
Shadia. Shadia.
No.
It is over. The crocodile has won. The ledger lost. My daughter. My Shadia. He has taken everything from us.
He will pay for this. And all those who serve him.
None of that will bring Shadia back.
No. But at least you'll have the comfort of revenge. We both will.
I hope so. I will do anything I can to help you, brother.
Has Henot been able to tell you anything?
Only that there were other men with the soldiers. Large, imposing warriors. One red-haired.
Bandits? Soldiers?
I believe they were gladiators. From the arena in Crocodilopolis. Seems this monster uses fighters to do his bidding.
I will find this monster, friend. He will die.
The gladiatorial arena. So the crocodile recruits from this place for his personal army. I need to find out more about it.
Excuse me. What can you tell me about this place?
Can't you see? It's an arena for Roman blood sport. Barbaric, if you ask me. But it's found favor with those
breakfast on the beach. It is my ultimate lifestyle.
It should have been left that way.
3 days, tops. Then I'm checking into a hotel. Because despite what you may think, I am not a 75-year-old retired IT consultant. Counting down my loveless marriage one soul-destroying road trip at a time. Nor am I a 23-year-old rock climber on an Anthony Bourdain-style tour of the West Coast's sexually transmitted diseases. As soon as I went to pick up this RV and saw the dream catcher hanging from the rearview mirror, I knew I'd made a terrible mistake. It was a real pile of shit, this car. The seats covers smelled like ayahuasca. There was like a hole in the floor. I could see the road through the floor. The knob on the top of the stick shift was the head of a Barbie doll.
Sir,
I was like, oh,
we need more fighters.
Oh, okay. At some point, this van is going to become my fiery tomb.
Who can actually fight?
Can't wait for that. Can't wait to perish in a van.
Are you the owner?
I got no gas. I have just enough gas to get to the nearest gas station. Literally pulled up the gas pump and went.
I only want
so I
entry
got
to the
out of
arena.
the van and I went over to the gas pump. Instantly confused. United States of America.
You mean the Gallic brother.
Instantly confused. United
But let me
States of
save you
America.
some time, Cannon. You cannot
In Australia,
piss
where
off
I
before you
hail
scare
from,
away
we
someone
pump
mad.
our gas and then we enter the gas station and we purchase the gas. We don't prepay for our gas. I'm not sure why there's a difference. I think maybe because we're riddled with colonial guilt, whereas you are a nation of fucking gas thieves.
Nah. I have already got an Egyptian. A hunter's for
You know what? With gas prices the way they are, who can blame you? Am I right? See, who said political comedy can't be fun?
So, the Garlic brothers are involved in Shadia's murder. But why are they doing the crocodile's bidding?
So I'm standing there trying to figure out how to use my card on this gas pump. My card wasn't working. There was no button to fill her up. I didn't know how to work it. And as I was trying to figure it out, this man pulled up behind me in his truck, like full truck. And I saw he pulled up behind me, and through his windshield, he was watching me, just going. Trying to get my card to work, and I heard him through his windshield go, oh, I knew it. I knew it. And I looked at, oh, fucking did you, Nostradamus? And then I saw him clock the hand-painted mural of a lotus flower on the back of the RV right next to the Magic Happens bumper sticker, which was in stark contrast to his own bumper sticker that read, land of the free, but freedom ain't free. You can't put a price on freedom. Woo! With a picture of an eagle laying a grenade like an egg. And I was like, oh. Anyway, the pump wasn't working, and he was like, staring at me, so I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to go in. So I went into the gas station. I locked the RV before I went in, because if people are stealing gas, they're sure as hell going to be after my vegan snacks. I go into this gas station, and working behind the register was this ashtray of a woman who... Yeah, let's pause to let that description sink in for a second. I said, my card is not working. Can I pay for it in here? And she said, actually, the terminal's down. It's rebooting. Can you pay with cash? I said, I don't have any cash. And she said, well, you'll just have to wait. And as soon as she said, you'll just have to wait, the man out there in the truck jumped on the horn. Meh, 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 which is another thing you people do very well in this country. There's no such thing as a beep beep. It's always like...
And she said, oh, all right, look, just go and move your RV. And I said, I'll stop you there. It's got no gas in it. Which is the only reason I'm here right now. And she said, oh, okay, look, I'll unlock the pump, just leave your car keys. And a truck driver next to the coffee machine turned around and said, I wouldn't be giving her my car keys. She's been drunk since 1984. Where the fuck am I? So I left my car keys, I go back out there. By the time I get back out there, the guy is now standing next to his car and he's very impatient. And I know he's impatient because as I get to the gas pump, he says, hurry up, asshole! And I'd had enough at that point. I said, all right, I'm doing it. All right, I'm doing it. Just shut up, you fuck. Got the nozzle out of the gas pump. Motherfucker, tell me how to fucking pump gas, piece of shit. Turn around, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. And then I realized that I locked the RV before I flipped the switch to open the gas tank. So now in front of this furious Texan, I had to gingerly return the nozzle to the pump without pumping gas, which is the gas station equivalent of erectile dysfunction. I ran back into the gas station yelling over my shoulder, I'm so sorry, this has never happened to me before. I go back up to the register, I say, can I please have my car keys? And she said, but you didn't pump any gas. I said, I know, because I forgot to unlock my gas tank. And she said, you should have just paid with cash. I don't have any cash! I grabbed the car keys, I went back out, now there's 3 men waiting to use my pump. All very angry, all open carrying. I was like, I'm gonna get buried in the desert. So I unlock the car, I flip the gas tank open, I start pumping the gas, and these guys start circling my car like jackals. Get a move on, hippie, we ain't got all day. Hey, nice dream catcher. I was like, oh my God, please, I don't want to die in the desert. I finished pumping the gas, I put the nozzle back in the gas pump, they're like, get out of here, you hippie. I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. I jumped in the van, I sped away, shaking. It took me about 45 minutes to calm down. Which is when I realized I left without paying for the gas! I did not go back. Alyssa, would you say that your use of drugs is at a religious level? Do you know what I mean? When you have a hobby and it flips over into a religion, like when interest becomes obsession. We all have these things, we all have them. Everybody's got something that they turn into a religion. It's all about what we choose to make our gods, our personal gods. Work, family, sport, love, food, politics, drugs, pets, TikTok, fitness, shame, Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever's your poison. You lose people to these pursuits as if they've disappeared into the wilderness and joined a cult. It happens all the time. Study is the classic example. I never went to college, but I have had many friends just evaporate for 4 years and then reappear with a diploma and a prescription for antidepressants. And I've switched gods a bunch of times. I always change up my gods. You know, it's good to be aware of them and mix them up.
I heard this
Booze was my god for quite some time. Booze for a bit, got rid of that.
I never expected to find you here.
Was my god for quite a while. Used to be a real fucker.
I heard it all of the arena.
But then, you know, one day you just...
Can you believe it?
Catch yourself taking a shit on the chest of a 37-year-old man.
But come, let us talk. And drink.
While his wife watches on in the corner, dressed in an ill-fitting Harley Quinn costume and choking herself on a dragon dildo, and you think, I've probably clocked this.
Luxury. What more could
Might be time to take a step back.
That's why I came to find you.
As you all did during that description.
Bury the past.
Every
I was turned away from the arena doors.
So you have
I didn't come to Philly to have my yum. Fuck you people.
Good. Such things are impossible. Felix is slow to trust outsiders.
But do not worry.
I'm at an interesting point in my life now with dating, like I'm single and traveling around. I don't really...
Best?
get to dates. It's not really a thing. There's not really any point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't stay anywhere long enough. It's sort of weird. Like, a typical date with me these days is, hi, my name's Randy. I'm a 41-year-old anti-child commitment phobe, and I'm leaving town tomorrow. Cut to the bedroom. Oh, my God, I'm wasting your time. Oh, you like the way I waste your time like that? Oh! Cut to a plane taking off. Roll credits. You guys have been amazing. This has been such a fun time. I've had... Oh. I don't know if that was a positive laugh or a laugh of doubt. No, it's been good. I've had a really nice time. I was in Canada just before I came out here. By the way, did you just boo Canada? Boo! Canada's cool, although, you know what? If you ever want to piss off a whole bunch of Canadians at once, announce a North American tour with no Canadian dates on it. Oh, they hated me so much. It was the best. Try that. I am going to go to Canada, but I just didn't put any Canadian dates on my tour dates. And they were like, oh, you forgot about us. You forgot about us. Anyway, so I was in one person. He was doing an impression of a Canadian. He won't make it to the special. He'll get cancelled in Canada. Fucking hell. So I did... What was that? You people are off chops. This is the best. All I need to do is wait for the laugh to die down and then for someone to go... Shit. Did you distribute some of those gummies? It sounds like... Anyway, I did a gig in Ontario in a place called Brampton. Just to fuck off. I gotta give everybody credit for how quick they are on that. It's gonna... what's that weapon? What'd you say? What was that? What was it? What? Which? What did he say? I'm not going to be mean to you. I just couldn't understand you. I feel like there might be some pearls of wisdom being thrown at the stage, like bullets of intelligence. And if I don't stop the show and go back, rewind, to hear your words clearly and eloquently, I might be missing out on something that might change my entire perspective. Please tell me what the reason that was. He likes gigs. Oh, gigs, as in going to comedy shows. Oh, well, that's lovely. Is it?
Have you wrote it? Copy this.
Opening song. Suck my fucking dick. Boba butt kick my fucking dick in the face. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Let's see who wins this fight. Crocodile or a hippo? Good job, hippo. What the fuck are you doing?
Work with me! Out of my way! I'm going to... Go! Here! Oh, I'm right to you! Hurry! Over my back! What? Hey, wait! Wait a minute! Tired yet? There you are! Take no chances. Over here, brother! Over here, brothers!
Indications of violence and bloodshed. I should investigate. Old blood stains this table. I think the body was prepared here, but crudely. This is no fine, skilled work. This symbol, a dedication to Serket, the goddess of magic, the Scorpion. This poor man was half eaten by crocodiles, but only after he died. Someone prepared him for burial and cut out some of his sacred organs. His stomach, at least, was removed. Serapis, God of divine majesty and Lord of the Sun. Someone has placed a mark upon you. The Scorpion is the sign of Serket. Curious, sinister writings. These deaths seem like a kind of perverse ritual against the gods. Who or what is driving it? Indications. It's simple. What happened here? Omens of death. Looks like the pilot got away, but left them bombing tools.
That is a very big alligator. I mean crocodile, fuck.
Statue of Sobek, Lord of the Nile.
There isn't any crocodiles in fucking Egypt.
The symbol that invokes Serket, the scorpion goddess of magic. Dark and foreboding invocations. They must have brought the sarcophagus by Feluca. Pretty remote place for this. Some of those marks on the body look like the sacred organs were removed. At least the lungs are gone. These deaths are a harrowing journey into madness. What could the perpetrators hope to gain by invoking the goddess of magic?
Whoa.
Going to kill you for that. He's too strong for me. Damn it! Wait a second. Hey now. Shield me, brothers.
Whoa.
Look at his waddle.
Whoa.
I gotta say, for a big boy, he sure moves fast.
Whoa.
So it seems I can only put to sleep animals that are the same, either the same level as me or a lower level than me.
Whoa.
Blood on the water. Moment in the sky. I suspect the sarcophagus was transported by cart. It is inscribed with the mark of Serket, the scorpion goddess. But where is the body? This perverse poetry celebrates chaos. It inverts all that is divine and just.
What now? Fine then, you don't want to be my animal? Go fuck yourself.
Poor man. You did not deserve to be dragged underwater by these hippos. And it appears you are prepared for the afterlife by a clumsy butcher with no thumbs. Where's your liver?
Da 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 da. Suck my dick. If you're busting for shit.
Someone came here with a heavily laden cart and left the same way, though the second track looks lighter. This happened recently, and the cart may not have traveled far. There may be more to this mystery nearby. Those responsible should not be allowed to. This happened recently, and the cart may not have traveled far. There may be more to this mystery nearby. Those responsible should not be allowed to do this again.
It's not have traveled far, it traveled a total of 900 meters. What the fuck are you talking about? Bayuk. Whatever the fuck your name is. Bakar.
Hey, wait! You are dead! Hey, hold on!
What is that sound? Voices? Ghosts? Demons? I need to find the source of the chanting.
Hey, what? Going to kill you for that! Going to cut you, bastard!
Not if I cut you first, fuckboy. Babesu diakusu shiti muyake saka fucking de guru. to Samikaya.
Mysterious killings have led here. This symbol is old. This place is from a long time lost.
What is this insolence? Who dares to intrude upon our most sacred work?
Sacred? A trail of death led me here. This cavern reeks of the profane. Are you the bloody hand responsible?
The goddess Serket is she who tightens the throat, and the one who lets us breathe. I do her will. I am her sting. All of the souls were chosen from lesser faiths. But we study their organs and read the signs. Soon, we will know Serket's secrets and become immortal.
This was your last chance to win the goddess's favor. Let's test your immortality, shall we?
Profane ravings to the gods. I arrived too late to save this one. You'll be the last victim of this cursed ritual. The ravings of a madman.
The birds of prey give you sacred Socorro.
Papa, when you met Mother, how did you know she liked you?
My heart lit on fire, of course. She smiled at me, and her eyes rendered me helpless.
So if a girl likes you, she smiles at you?
Son, there are some things I can't explain to you. The stars, how to fight, but this is something not even the gods can tell. You will have to ask a goddess. Hathor, goddess of motherhood and joy. She is loved by all in Egypt, from the least to the greatest, mistress of the West. She welcomes the dead to the afterlife.
I was wondering why my health was so fucking low. It's because of the sword, it's cursed. Excuse me. Hey, man.
A customer. Yes, all right. Fair enough. Deal.
Hey, dog.
Yes, all right. Deal.
Some boy was within my fiery tomb.
Fair enough.
Behespai, Chespiai, East Abai, Juvamen, Pahapi, Kaahenet, Epoi, Mesuni Sud, Inichem, Ho.
Bye for now.
Right position, Gareth.
Well, guys, I'm gonna leave this stream here. As always, subscribe for more if you're new. Hit that notification bell and so to also be notified when all of my streams and videos are up and live. And peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.